Hi guys, my name is lelasophia. I am an artist and fine jewelry designer. If you like contemporary fine jewelry, if you like luxury handbags, all things interiors, and I have some fun videos for you. Today, you guys, I am so genuinely excited about this video. I've had this on my list for so long, but inspired by my favorite YouTuber of all time, CassieThorpe. I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks as to how to navigate the 2023 crazy, insanely fast trend cycle world and how to truly build your perfect capsule wardrobe. If you guys are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you in all of my future videos. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at lelasophia jewelry. I put out videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and so I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. So, as you know, my amazing seasoned subscribers, which thank you guys so much. I love all of you and I love nothing more than talking to you. As you guys know, I've definitely been one to call myself anti-trend. Maybe it's the millennial in me. There's a few reasons that I thought of as to why I am this way, but genuinely get really overwhelmed by trends, and I've pretty much dressed the same way for the last like 15 years. I think that kind of stems from two different places. One is coming from the fine jewelry industry. I think it's so important, especially coming from kind of multiple different sides in the jewelry industry. It was literally and will always be my job, whether I am making you a diamond engagement ring or selling you a piece. In the past, when I've worked with multiple other designers, spending real money, 4, 5, maybe even beyond that, figures on pieces, I want to make sure that not only you wear this piece for the rest of your life, but that you can pass this piece down. You guys also know I say this all the time, but my aunt taught me, man. She taught me everything I know, and she was the one truly who led by example. I think when I was a little kid, she saw me really struggling as a plus size woman, was really interested in dressing well and having their own personal style, but still to this day, it's really hard for plus size people of all genders to fit into designer clothes. And so what she taught me was find your thing. Find the silhouette that works for you. Find the pieces that work from you. Accessories can go over top, and accessories know no size limits. Hence where we got here, the origin story, right? Everybody has an origin story. Hence why I love jewelry so much. Hence why I love handbags so much. I know that I'm fully the extreme version of this. I'm so minimal. I'm so anti-trend. I so know myself. But I thought of all of these different pieces because I've totally made mistakes as well. And not just mistakes, but I've totally bought into some trends. Maybe it's a little bit more occasional, but I have totally been there. And so here are my tips and tricks. My first point being kind of the most obvious, but what I don't think people really think about: wear your pieces. Wear your pieces, whether it's a pair of shoes, it's a jacket, whether it is a handbag, especially in this world that we're talking about quite expensive pieces, so wear your pieces. That way, over time, you will have, right, like think of it as a science experiment. You have the control, and the control being, what do I actually want to pick? What do I go for? What's my, I'll just wear this bag today. Oh, this is so easy. Oh, this is an easy outfit. I look put together. I can fit all my things in this bag. I can walk 20 minutes with my shoe, whatever the case may be for your lifestyle. Wear your pieces, analyze. I think for me, shoes has been the thing that really I kind of misled me for so many years. I did that. I bought into shoe trends. I was never buying crazy expensive shoes, so it felt like, ooh, I just need something new. Let me grab another pair of shoes. And really, I wear like 2 kinds of shoes. Recently, you guys have seen my capsule shoe collection. Truly, I have like 10 pairs of shoes now, and that's including running and workout and walking and fancy, like everything, just a few pairs, perfect shoes that I know will never fail me. Next step, similarly to that, but taking it a little bit outside of that bubble, find your color scheme. I know, again, this is so ironic. It even is a trend to like get your color analyze thing. There are whole companies that specialize in that. That's awesome. However, you can really just see what works for you. It doesn't have to be so scientific. That's dope. If you've done that, I can imagine that would be really fun. But figure it out. Everybody makes fun of me for wearing black all the time, but I genuinely just think I look best in black. It is not some plus-size, fat-bodied person thing to hide all my No. I actually just think my skin tone works best with black and brown. And so that's what I've stuck to for a very long time. And in fact, if anything, it took me until like my sophomore year of college to actually feel comfortable wearing all black, because in high school, you know, again, like I'm a millennial, guys. People were not nice. The internet was like just rising. People would make fun of me and say I was goth or emo if I ever wore all black. But then I was also like a performing artist constantly. And so if I wasn't on a performance day wearing all black, I'd get made fun of. And then if I was on a performance day wearing all black, people would compliment me. And so at a certain point when I was 19, I so specifically, right before I turned 19, remember telling my friend like, F it. I'm gonna wear all black because I feel the best in this. I know I look the best in this. I'm the most comfortable. And then I can experiment with my kind of outer accessories. It doesn't have to just be one color. Also, we see in my last video, like I have gotten completely obsessed with brown bags because you have no idea the kind of like genuine relief I perhaps got when I bought my first brown camera bag from Chanel, that vintage, buttery, yummy leather. I was like, oh my gosh, this bag fits so seamlessly with so many different of my outfits, different versions, different occasions. Then I got my Bottega, like it kind of just went from there, and I was like, brown bags are my thing. Brown bags, nude bags, as much as I want like a baby purple, baby pink bag, I know that that doesn't fit with what I want my style to be. But to follow up on that, the fun thing is, which I will get to all of these other little points, like it's okay to buy into trends every once in a while, or maybe occasionally, or maybe even often. Genuinely, I think that there have been really fun things that I've experimented with and are my kind of like, ooh, I can't believe I went out of my own box. My biggest example, like the biggest, most expensive example is my Kelly. I was so hell-bent on buying a black bag, on buying a burgundy Kelly. I was like, duh, I'll wear this all the time. That navy bag popped up, and yes, even though it's, you know, it's still a dark color, you know, that is the biggest investment I've made in my bag collection. I took a major risk, and that risk paid off because she is like the true jewel in my collection. I have my staples, all of my brown bags that I will so like subconsciously want to wear and reach out for. And then I have my girl, I have my blue Kelly. And then the next step is finding designers or houses that work so well for you. I say it all the time, Hermes, Bottega, The Row, and then Selena's a bonus. Those are my designers. Like I know, especially I think when I got my first bag from The Row, I was like, holy cow, a bag can look this cool, be this functional, fit so well in my wardrobe and everything. I feel good carrying those bags. Same thing with, obviously, we know my full obsession with Bottega. Like, I found my guys, I found my people, and that's amazing. I mean, it's just, there are so many different, it also doesn't have to be one of the LVMH or Kering houses or Gucci group houses. Like, it can be, Magda Butrym could be your thing. Bodhi, I know so many people found Bodhi and were like, done, this is my style, right? What's that mean? This is gonna be my personality for the rest of my life. Like, find your thing, find your designer. It could be some small designer who nobody else has heard of. If you love that piece, if you love those collections, find it, love it, hone in that style. And same thing again, then it's really fun when you do play with exceptions, because like, we know I can go look up a Bottega bag and, you know, if I was a little bit more reckless, find it, buy it, love it, have this amazing time with it, but I'm trying so hard to keep my collection as edited as possible, which I'll talk on the next point. But I am also finding so much fun in the exceptions. Like currently, I'm looking at a vintage Dior, Lady Dior bag. Like, who, that doesn't seem like me. I'm so kind of minimal and basic. That's such a classic feminine bag. Feminine in air quotes. so doesn't feel like me, but that's something so fun. Once you find that, then you can go out of the lines and experiment and find something exceptional that you never would have thought of that also blends in seamlessly with your collection. This is my biggest point. If you take nothing away from anything else in it, listen to this. Because I swear my life changed. I'm not joking. My life changed when I did this. I have 2 Instagram accounts. I have my personal and then I have my business, lelasophia and lelasophia jewelry. When I tell you, I went on an unfollowing rampage, and yes, I was pretty intense. There are even, I don't even follow my family members. I don't even follow my closest friends. There are people who I'd like to have in-person or over the phone interaction with rather than seeing things randomly pop up on my timeline. I realized that I would get triggered by just seeing random things, and whether that's a publication, posting a news story that's a little bit sad or triggering or something, or seeing trend prediction pages that get so overwhelming, from the very serious to the very whimsical. Find and only follow accounts, whether you don't be worried at all about offending anybody. Trust me, real life still does exist. You can have a relationship in person that's not over social media. Find those people who you love. You guys know I am studying interior design. I love doing my own house. I love doing my store. I have gotten such truly profound pleasure and delight out of interiors. Only about a year ago did I realize that I can curate my Instagram to just be interiors. My business Instagram, yes, I follow all the goodies. I follow all the amazing designers who I love and yada, yada, yada. But I primarily follow interior designers because popping up, seeing, some beautiful gallery exhibition of Axel Vorts makes my day. Seeing some random ceramic artist's piece makes my genuine day. Find what works for you and then curate your social media. Same thing, but a little bit different, taking this even a step further. Find your social media platform. I clearly, this was years ago, and I think obviously, thank God for you guys, right? For so many of us, YouTube, I was like, oh my God, I don't need to watch TV. I have YouTube and I can learn things. I can learn how to do my hair. I can learn makeup tricks. I can watch these gorgeous interior videos. I can watch my favorite YouTubers. Find the social media platform that works for you. YouTube works well enough for me to have started my own channel. I love it so much. I was so reluctant for years to go on TikTok. As a business decision, I went on, I lasted almost a year. It was so overwhelming. It was so triggering. I didn't even last a year, maybe 6 months. I truly found that I was going down rabbit holes, that I was scrolling for hours, that I was seeing things that I shouldn't be seeing. First of all, that's also really crazy that especially with the quicker social media platforms, you also can see disturbing things. I am a grown woman and that's too, I need kid settings. I need settings that are a little bit more appropriate because I don't want to see these crazy things or hear a horrible story or hear somebody go down the rabbit hole. If that works for you, lovely. That did not work for me, so I quickly realized TikTok is triggering for me. Instagram, however, lies somewhere in between. As a person who has had their Instagram for 12 years, I was one of the first people I knew to get on Instagram. I loved it because I was a Tumblr girl. Tumblr was my thing. Pinterest is still my thing. I'm on Pinterest more than any other social media other than YouTube, obviously. Instagram used to be more like a Tumblr Pinterest vibe, has now become something else. So same thing, it kind of lies in between. Keep an air of lightness about your trends. Why I thought Cassie's video was so brilliant. If you ever happen to watch this, you are so brilliant. Because of so many reasons, obviously. This is someone who is definitely, has a totally different style to me, right? I more so would lean towards Alyssa Lenore style, but she gives you actual database trend information. She gives you real-time trends. She gives you what she likes, what she doesn't like. She stays so true to herself while still somehow not only reporting on trends, but really actively being in trends as well, if that makes sense. So buying a piece that is trendy. She fits so well into her own, like that is so hard to do. The juxtaposition of that's incredible and it's quite brilliant. Finding people like that, only follow people who work for you. I also know that if I want to see a shopping vlog, I'll watch Ramina Rose May. On Instagram, I think that Style Snatcher is the coolest human like on all of any social media platform. That's the only reason I ever will re-download the TikTok app is to watch her TikToks every once in a while. And like, I think she has some of the coolest outfits, the coolest style, the coolest bags of all time. She's a genius. I know that if I want some inspo on an all black outfit, I look at Brenda Hashtag's Instagram. Like, it's so, I figured it out to be so curated. I've organized it so much. And then once you've really found your people, keep that air of lightness about it. Here's a weird one for you. I might do an entire video on this, but I'm throwing this in here as a really weird thing because I just made a whole joking Instagram story, but I realized the irony of this, don't worry. But if you guys don't know, literally as I'm looking around myself, I have possibly a magazine addiction. This started literally like 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago, okay? I love a physical magazine. I love an art magazine. I love an interior magazine. I have like hundreds, perhaps, of magazines. And also, I live in New York City, and so they're so accessible to me. I can find like really weird, obscure art magazines. My point being that if you look at physical magazines, one of Cassie's other amazing points was that that's how we got our information. Before social media, especially before TikTok, it kind of creeped in, right? It was magazines forever, for decades. And then it was YouTube, and then it was Instagram, and now it's TikTok. You can still go back to that. You can still pick up a Vogue. I think Beauty Papers is like my favorite magazine of all time. I have some obscure, really crazy, also really, really cool magazine editions from like a decade ago, over a decade ago, from years ago. Also probably me being a musician, that's ingrained in me because like how many Hypebeasts, how many High Snobieties, how many Fader magazines I bought when I was really interested. Either my friend was on a cover or somebody I knew was featured in it or something. I had to buy their issues. The point being, physical things are really, really helpful. Instead of us being, hello, hi guys, you know, like through a video, through a camera, through a screen, whether it be this big or this big, take some reality, right? Like this is very much so what I've been learning from my therapist, like understand that real life does exist. Getting a physical magazine, seeing somebody, whether it's one or like me, a lot, find something that you can physically see, that you can go back to, that you can revisit and have physically in this real world. This is a tricky one because we know what I'm about to say, I'm also about to contradict. Please, as much as you can, try to first buy on the vintage or pre-loved market, in-store pre-loved consignment shops. Not only is it sustainable, but it will also give you a chance to find your own pieces. When you go into a fast fashion site, you're blasted with what's right now, what's happening right now, what's tomorrow, what's the coolest jacket, what's the coolest pair of shoes, buy this, buy that, buy that. It kind of takes your own style away from it. It's, you know, like I can't even imagine, but I would imagine a store like Zara went from all white and all beige from, you know, like the Succession Quiet Luxury to all pink. I will have to look that up because I haven't been in person or followed any other social media, but I can imagine that a Pretty Little Thing or ASOS or any of those fast fashion sites or physical locations really quite change their tune quite a lot. Shopping on the pre-loved market or vintage market, going to a thrift store, going to a consignment store, it can be overwhelming. I am not at all discounting how overwhelming that is when you go to a fast fashion site. They pick for you, basically. If you can have a little bit of humility about that, if you can have some awareness of that, if you can realize like, okay, I'm gonna be overwhelmed, but maybe even if it's just one piece that I find, that one piece that you love, that you found at Buffalo Exchange or whatever, that can spiral a whole other thing of being like, wow, I really like this tailored blazer. Now I can look for more. Who knew? The possibilities are endless. Just a couple more, and I know this is crazy, okay? But I had to get this off of my chest. We're gonna go say exactly what I said before, but with an example, okay? Play with trends, but still remember who you are, okay? Let's talk about my nails for a second. This is a really stupid aside, right? But I do my own nails because I really like the meditativeness of it. I don't know, my aunt taught it to me. Maybe there's nostalgia in there. I have been doing this same combination of Essie nail polish since I graduated college. So 9 years. For 9 years, I have made my nails like this. I went out to dinner with my cousin, who I love so much, so I'm sorry, I'm just using you as an example, I hope you don't mind. I went out to dinner with her and her friend like almost a year ago on her birthday, and she was like, oh my God, you're doing the Hailey Bieber trend. I was so offended. I was so offended. Like the fact that nail trends are like Miss Hailey Bieber, you're doing something right, because this girl has been at the helm of trends for so long. However, the whole trend cycle behind it deterred me from painting my nails the color that I always painted, because it wasn't just like, I then got all comments everywhere saying, oh my God, you're doing the like Hailey Bieber nails. And then when she did like a chocolate version, I was like, thank God, take the pressure off me. I know it's a really stupid example, but like Cassie was talking about blueberry nails. What? I'm sure there's so many people whose like staple color is like a beautiful dusty blue. Same thing, like all of a sudden then there's gonna be like blackberry nails where people paint their nails black, and it's like, hello, we lived through the 2010s where everybody was painting their nails ox blood or black. It's just so silly. And so my point being, which is so, I know we're being egotistical for 1 second. My point being, remember who you are, okay? Remember who you are. And if somehow something picks up as a trend that what you do, that is normally what you do, we can just ignore it, because quite frankly, with all these trends, they're just gonna be gone the next week. My last 2 points, I will try to go faster because I'm just really revved up and excited about all these things. One thing that really changed, like genuinely changed my viewpoint on fashion, because I think having the social media aspect of things kind of can put you off of it for a while. Watch runway shows on YouTube. You know, we were just talking about Phoebe Philo for Celine. Those runway shows have so much thought behind them by the designer, by the team, all of the backside that we don't see. They have so much thought behind them, and what we see is a physical, beautiful representation of all of those ideas. Watching that and taking your own kind of commentary away from it is very empowering. My last point, if you guys have made it this far, I literally love you so much and you're incredible. My last point, I did a video a little while ago on what people are actually wearing in real life. And I know it's a trend. I'm now realizing it's a trend to do what people are wearing. If you are in Indiana, if you are in India, wherever you are, step outside of your door to see what people are actually wearing. Like from my own video, I got a lot of insight and perspective that, you know, imagine like we're just hounded with videos. It was the Balenciaga Le Cagole bag. Now I have one, but it was the Bottega dumpling bag. There's so many bags that it becomes a trend to buy. A lot of these people are influencers, and so they might get gifted these bags. We have to remember that it's so helpful to go outside and see what people are actually wearing. And then the step further than that is to go outside with your friends, with your family, if you have neighbors, to go outside and like actually see that people like have a couple bags and wear them again. Like I wear my capsule bags, and you're gonna see me wear the same bags because what? Like, of course I am, and I love them, and I don't care that Bottega, that we've way past the Bottega pouch bag. I just wore that bag a couple days ago. Like I wear another, you know, I wear my Bottega bags, long story short. So seeing what's in the real world, taking a breath, taking a beat, you know, I could tell you do a social media cleanse, but the point being is that the more curated you are, the more thoughtful you are, the more mindful you are, the more in the real world you step out and follow people who you love, who you know are going to be true to themselves. But the underlying point is understanding that, like, you maybe don't have to jump on every trend, and that's okay. And we can also appreciate ones from afar. That has been my very long-winded video. I think that building a capsule collection, possibly, not for everybody, possibly could give so much joy. Finding your own style and still being able to play with trends. Finding the happy medium, going through phases where you completely buy into trends and then having phases where you are not on social media at all or any kind of publication. Doing what's best for you and kind of finding that dance, that is where we will all feel so good and find our own styles. I can't wait to see. I know it's weird. In the trend cycles, right, we're going from one extreme where everything's a trend. What do I always say, right? The cycle is not like this. The cycle is like it's like the moon, right? And it's bouncing kind of on opposites. So we know that, right, from recession core to Barbie core, could not be more opposite in my humble opinion. That things are gonna go pretty much opposite. So after this moment, we might see, like, we already saw this, people de-influencing, all of those types of things, but we might see the total opposite. We might be going into an era that is so trendless that I'm very curious to see, quite frankly. Thank you guys truly so much for tuning in. I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye guys.